specific question for you, Khairy. I mean, post-2008, obviously, there's been, the electorate seems to be expecting a lot of changes from BN, particularly Umno, because it's seen as the dominant party within the Barisan Nasional. As Umno Youth Chief, you stuck your neck out at the last General Assembly, didn't you? By suggesting that Ketuanan Melayu should be replaced by Malay leadership instead. But what kind of challenges are you facing in terms of changing the prevailing mindset within Umno Youth and also within the party? I mean, you seem to be a sore thumb, so to speak, in Umno in terms of just public perception. You take a line that's slightly different from what the mainstream Umno boys, I would say, would take. You've been raising issues of Malay leadership, for example. You've been raising issues of an independent media, for example, etc.
Well, I think, my personal view is that Umno needs to go through serious philosophical transformation in the way that the Labour Party dropped Clause 4 in the UK. They dropped socialism altogether. That was a big deal for them because they had been wedded to this concept of socialism. Tony Blair came along and said, look, let's drop this Clause 4. It was largely symbolic because they didn't really subscribe to socialism anymore by the early 90s, but they did it and they put the unions in their place. And for Umno, we have to do the same thing. You know, it's endemic. This DNA of Ketuanan Melayu is so deeply ingrained in my party, in Pemuda Umno, in Umno as a whole, that when I see, PM Najib trying to change things, he needs to have somebody going out there and putting his head on the chopping block. And I said, look, before I made that speech, I went to see him. I said, look, I'm going to take this line. I hope it's okay. He's like, yeah, good luck. So, he didn't say that. He's like, he was very supportive. But the subtext was good luck. But I did, and I think it's important to keep on doing that. I don't care if you get, you stick out like a sore thumb because somebody's got to say it.
Yeah, but you seem to be the only one who is publicly doing it. I mean, so it must be really tough being the lone voice.
I think you have to get out there because I tell you, if you guys knew how many Umno leaders really think like a liberal bangsa, right? You'd be surprised. They actually want to say these things, but
so what's stopping them then?
Yeah, political expediency. Clearly, it's clearly. I have nothing to lose. I don't have a cabinet position to lose. I'm just, I'm just an MP, and I couldn't care less if I'm voted again as Umno Youth Chief. So why not try something else? We've tried everything else. We've done the Grace and everything, and it didn't work. So, let's be real. Let's go for it. So as far as I'm concerned, yes, this is a Sunday evening talk about change. And Umno, we've been talking about changing Umno for the last tens of years, if not the last decade or so. But that's okay to me, because we're still talking about change. The moment we stop talking about change, that's when I get worried. Because even if it's not really happening as fast as we want it to happen, you need people to talk about it. Because this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen everywhere. This happens here because I have a relatively friendly audience in terms of change in Umno. But you see, for me, the important thing is to talk about this out there, with the youth in Kelantan, in Kedah, in Johor, at my Umno Youth Assembly, where typically I cannot say these things. But as Jack said, I did last year, because I want to tell them it's okay to talk about these things, and you have to accept these changes. And that to me is a start. And I think if we can show this commitment to the reforms and tell the PM that, look, sir, you're not alone in wanting to change things, I think you'll see true change. And over the last year or so, I've gotten to know the Prime Minister quite well in political meetings, and I understand that he has the right sentiments and sensibilities, but he needs people around him to tell him, look, sir, it's okay to do this because you have the support within the party. So that's my job at the moment.
But do you think that it's gaining traction within the party?
I think so. But it depends how you word it. I think PM has a nice way of talking to the faithful. He doesn't do it in a way that, we're going to lose power and everything. He does it in a way that, why are we obsessed with this siege mentality? Get over it. We're better than that. So I think we need to keep on hammering away at that, and hopefully we'll see some changes.
So what else do you think the party could be doing? Because even as you speak this language and you talk about the need for this kind of structural changes within Umno, we have a Deputy Prime Minister and Deputy President of Umno who still talks about, Malay rights and Malay privileges, So what else do you think the party needs to be doing in order to be creative and innovative? So that I can just plug in the theme for this evening. Yeah. How about regaining support?
Oh, there was a question. I thought I was going to get away. Look, I think we have to go back down to basics. What we've done, what the PM has done, and even what the DPM has done. Look, I mean, I see them in close proximity. I actually know how they think. Is actually to go and retrain these people. I mean, for a lot of them, they need to be sent back to political school. I'm serious. I'm serious. Political education. We've reformed the entire syllabus of political education. It's none of this, BTN style, or you're being attacked left, right, and center. We must, Tuanan, all that kind of stuff. So it's changed completely. And I think the more they go through this process of relearning politics, I think you'll get your innovation and creativity in politics. To plug the theme for tonight.
I'm going to let you off at this